One of the most spectacular things that's really been a result of 9/11 has been the show of unity and brotherhood among everyone of the United States. Specifically, I remember going back to New York City 2 weeks after the attack and seeing people on the subway systems, like complete strangers, talking to each other like they were brothers. My only fear and concern for really the future of America from here on is that when we take actions and when we look to, I guess, solve the problems of the world and help make the world a better place, that what we do is for the right reasons. Not to say that what we're doing now isn't, but that we really need to look at everything we do and understand that we're doing it because it benefits the world as a whole and makes life safer and better for many people, not that we're doing anything out of reactionary nature or just out of fear and revenge.
The most important real change in my life has been my kind of connection to my family and friends. 9/11 last year really introduced me to a feeling I've never felt before, which is the idea of being helpless. All day long I tried to call a bunch of my very close friends who live within the city and my family as well. They don't live in the city, but relatively close by. And it made me really appreciate what it would be like, or what it is like, to not feel the safety of complete protection that America's always really felt. To have someone in your life who you care about, who you love, and not be able to reach them, and not to know if they're dead or alive or safe, is perhaps the most frightening experience of your life. And I mean, it makes me realize just how blessed I am to have everyone have survived that is close to me, and to really feel, at least for a short time, the pain of those who weren't so lucky.
A year ago today, not far from where we sit right now, I think it'd be fair to say that all hell broke loose. But the amazing thing is that a year from that, today, the greatest example being the Pentagon. They finished it, it's good, it's brand new, it's ready to go. And that, I think, is a great visual sign of just American vigilance and what we can do when we put our minds to something. In the aftermath, we're in the war on terrorism right now, but I think what we have to remember is that we need to be separate. We need to hold ourselves to a higher moral ground than those that we are fighting. A year ago when the terrorists struck, they didn't strike a military embankment or an encampment. They hit civilians. They killed people that were just going to work. They killed fathers, brothers, mothers, just because they were American. And the compassion that we showed to each other after that, volunteering and helping people out and donating time to services, was amazing. And I think we need to offer that same compassion when we look at our military response. We need not do what they did, just go out and wipe out an entire group of people because they wear the same clothes or they pray to the same God. We need a very tactical response, and we need to offer these people that aren't a member of these regimes the same, just bending over backwards to show them the compassion that we and they both deserve. The next day I walked a whole lot taller. I stood up and I was with my friends, and I really learned to cherish. And a great example is these guys here today. We're from different parts of the country totally. We don't necessarily pray to the same God, but these men are my brothers, not only because we wear these letters, but because today and every day we sit under that flag behind us. And that, I think, it just taught us that is the greatest unifying factor we have.
9/11 is an event that has changed our lives and the way that we look at our world. The attack on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, it was more than just a senseless act of violence. What it really was an attack on our way of life. And we have to remember that freedom is a gift, it's not a right. Freedom is not free. And the price of being free is eternal vigilance. We're going to have to spend the rest of our lives defending that freedom as generations before us have. And I think the Bush administration is aware of that fact, and they are taking steps now towards securing America and securing our future. Men and women are fighting abroad, fighting hard for important ideals, things like freedom and liberty and justice that these terrorists don't seem to understand or have a different view of. And this war is going to continue. It's going to continue for a long time, and we have to be prepared to stick it out and do what needs to be done to secure our way of life. It's a war like we've never experienced before, a war like no other. Civilians have been attacked, thousands of them. There are no fronts. This is a war where citizens become soldiers, where our cities and our homes are the battlefields. Things that we take for granted are now going to be taken from us, and we have to be willing to make the sacrifices to protect those things. If it means standing on line in the airports for an extra couple hours to make sure that our planes don't get blown out of the sky and that we can have safe and reliable mass transit in this country, then that's what we need to do. And if it means that we have to give up a few freedoms here and there to ensure the greater public good and the greater public safety, then we need to. Because what we need to remember that in this war there are people who are fighting overseas right now, our soldiers who are giving up far more than we're giving up here at home. They're putting their lives on the line, they're dodging bullets, and if we have to spend a few extra hours online at an airport, then I'm willing to do that. This war, it's not going to be over today, it's not going to be over tomorrow, but we need to stay the course, and we need to support our politicians and our president, who I think are working very hard right now to ensure our future. 4 years I used to work for a church at my home parish in Rockland County, New York, and we're only about 15 miles from the city. And used to get to know everyone at church and see all the faces every week. The same people would come and go. And in the World Trade Center attack, my county alone lost over 300 people. And right after 9/11, there was a noticeable thinning out at Mass, where a lot of faces that used to be there just weren't there anymore because they'd perished in the attacks. And it kind of stirred up the faith in the community. People came back to church, people came back to caring about each other and starting to build stronger friendships. It's not till you lose so much that you realize how much you have and how much you value your friendships. And you wanna take the time to really nurture that, because you never know when someone could be gone or things could change so drastically. So I think 9/11 has kind of taught us a little bit more about faith and about what it is to be a part of something, whether it's your family, your church, caring for your country, doing all kinds of service in all ways. It's a new way of living. It's a different outlook on life.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your